Well, ladies and gentlemen, today I have a very interesting video to go over with you guys. All of you guys are aware of what's going on with Activision Blizzard and the Nickmercs situation and Tim the Tap Man. We've talked about it multiple times. We've made a few videos on it. We talked about it on live streams. You guys are fully aware of all the drama. But I do find it interesting that a lot of the people who are defending what Activision Blizzard did and their decision to basically double down on the sexualization of children, they're defending Blizzard because people did not speak out against Activision Blizzard and their own issues with sexual allegations, sexual assault, harassment, all that stuff in the workplace. They're trying to say, oh, you guys didn't care about that, but you suddenly care about this. It is definitely a reach, the likes of which only a true sick bastard can really reach for. But here, I'm going to raise you one, ladies and gentlemen, because look, we have an article talking about first Activision Blizzard transparency report reveals over 30 employee complaints were filed in 2022, including harassment, discrimination, and retaliation. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Activision Blizzard and all the nonsense that they have been doing. And for those of you who have been defending Activision Blizzard because you say that we're not reporting on this stuff, guess what? We got a video here and we're going to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. So before we do, of course, if you're new here, consider giving this video a like just to push us out into the YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing because we're on our way to 25,000 subscribers. It says Activision Blizzard's first transparency report has revealed that over 30 employee misconduct complaints were handled by the company in 2022. Now, that is quite a bit. Now, I know how big of a corporation Activision Blizzard is, don't get me wrong, but 30 is a pretty big number, ladies and gentlemen. That's a lot of employee complaints, and you got to imagine how many did not go filed. Probably a lot, considering the overall climate that is Activision Blizzard and working for them. So it says, as part of the aftermath from the sexual harassment lawsuits and settlement, Activision Blizzard released their first annual transparency report. The company details substantiated claims from 2022 under the Quantifying Our Work to Prevent Harassment, Discrimination, and Retaliation category. It says, out of all harassment, discrimination, and retaliation cases that were reported during 2022, 87% were investigated, Activision Blizzard revealed. The remaining 13% were justified. However, to the extent the investigations unit determined not to investigate our particular case, is it often because the respondent is no longer employed by the company, there is sufficient information being provided in an anonymous report, or the respondent is not able to be identified. During 2022, our investigations unit substantiated 36 total reported concerns of harassment, discrimination, or retaliation across all business units. Of these substantiated concerns, 29 represented conduct by our own employees, 2 represented conduct by contingent workers, and 5 represented conduct by non-employees, including, for example, esports players and testers, the report detailed. Now, that's pretty juicy. So you gotta imagine, man, it's amazing what happens over at Activision Blizzard. This entire company is a nonsense trash company. It really is, and they are definitely ones that are going to try to virtue signal as much as possible to make themselves look better in the public eye. These are what these corporations do, especially when they have a dark history like Activision Blizzard. So I'm not surprised that after all the lawsuits, after all the settlements and everything like that, they have this many cases, 30 cases of different kinds of harassment, discrimination, sexual, all this stuff. It is absolutely insane. Let's continue, though. It says, it added, however, since non-employees are not included in our total employee population, these cases are not reflected in the tables that follows. Activision Blizzard further disclosed that 20,826 employees and contingent workers, an aggregate number of those employed during the year, there were 31 substantiated cases, or 0.15% of cases per 100 employees and workers. The company notes that they were substantiated to the extent any of the investigated concerns were substantiated. Substantiated does not mean a violation of the law. So, wow, they have a lot of employees. I didn't even realize that Activision Blizzard has this many employees, but then again, I guess I should have, considering the size of this company. It's absolutely insane. So yeah, 30 cases within 20,000 employees is not going to seem like a lot, but that is 30 cases too many, ladies and gentlemen. And I guarantee you that Activision Blizzard probably has more that's either been swept under the rug, they don't want people to talk about it, or they try to do something, maybe like a settlement of some kind within the organization. You cannot trust. It's people, they're basically reporting on themselves, right? So you cannot trust what they're saying. And I know they said they were going to use an outside company to do so, but nothing's stopping them from paying that outside company to make them look a little bit better. You know what I mean? I mean? So it says there were also 116 investigations closed during 2022, 0.56 per 100 employees and workers, and 27% investigations substantiation rate. According to the 2023 NAVEX Risks and Compliance Hotline and Incident Management Benchmark Report, the 2023 NAVEX report, 2022 brought the return of a higher percentage of anonymous reports, potentially indicating more caution and concern about retaliation on the part of reporters, Activision Blizzard admitted. Specifically, the 2023 NAVEX report reported that a typical organization saw an anonymous report rate of 56% across all report categories during 2022, the company added. However, Activision Blizzard did manage to do better with the NAVEX report in some matters with respect to claims related to the harassment, discrimination, and retaliation included in the 2023 NAVEX report. These percentages were a bit lower, with 40% of all discrimination claims, 41% of all harassment claims, and 34% of all retaliation claims reported anonymously. So basically, people know that they're going to be retaliated against, right? People, and I'm sure a company like Activision Blizzard is very big on retaliation. No matter how much they want to say otherwise, these corporations swear they're about you, they're about the people, they're always about the people, it's only about the employees. Do not believe them ever, ladies and gentlemen. That is not the truth whatsoever. And Activision Blizzard is no different. Their history has shown that they fully believe that they are the arbiters of the truth in damn near everything. Look at what they're doing with Nickmercs. Look at what they did with Tim the Tatman. It's only going to get worse from here as more and more ideologues take over at Activision Blizzard. It's crazy, man, to think that a company that I love so much, Blizzard, man, just has completely fallen. It says, as reflected in the table above, only 5% of our reported concerns of harassment, discrimination, or retaliation were submitted anonymously. This is significantly below peer benchmarks, and we believe this indicates a culture that encourages the expression of concerns without fear of retaliation, Activision Blizzard hope. Activision Blizzard states that employees are made well aware of their reporting options, new code of conduct, and that managers must escalate misconduct reports within 72 hours. After our initiatives were introduced in the third and fourth quarters of 2022, we saw an increase in questions, feedback, and reported concerns, along with a decline in our investigation substantiation rate during these periods. As our initiatives encourage reports of even suspected misconduct, we believe this is a sign of healthy reporting culture and effective training, Activision Blizzard boasted. So they got everybody ratting on everybody in that place. That's essentially what's going on. Like people are encouraged to rat on everybody else, and it's not shocking, right? Like these are the same people that will rat on you if it meant that they could get ahead. And they definitely, that's why they have such that's why they probably hired an outside company, because there was no way they were going to be able to keep up with all these claims otherwise. I would almost suffice to say, given the history and given the fact that 30 some odd of these claims are actually true, chances are there is so much more that happens that gets swept under the rug that we don't know about it, right? Like nobody knows about what actually goes down at these companies. So again, ladies and gentlemen, do not believe their virtue signal. It is absolute nonsense. They don't mean a single word of this crap. It says they also highlight that they added over 3,000 employees over the prior 5 years, which may also have contributed to the increase in the total number of reported concerns. That'd be incredible if the people you just recently added and hired are already reporting you for being absolute psychopaths. Like, think about that for a second. The people who were just recently hired working less than a year already reporting you for harassment and things of that nature. It's crazy, man. Activision Blizzard is just a shell of a former company that I truly loved. I loved Blizzard so much. It was a fantastic company, but ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, every major company sees its fall at some point in time. Every major civilization sees its fall at some point in time. Activision Blizzard is no different. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.